Why would I want to piss on my car? Do you mean piss on it directly or put it into a bowl?
Wait. By saying you won't do it, that's suggesting it's not worth pissing
on. No. It's like giving your car a golden shot. That's gross. No.
G'day everyone, welcome to Porsche Talk podcast. Insert dull, sad music now. Because Ajmal and I have got some pretty interesting things to talk about. Ajmal, how are you today?
It's not interesting that it's devastating and it's I should warn now, I might swear during this episode. But it's just devastating. That is devastating news. Should I just spill right now?
Let's hear it.
So I stupidly thought, I know I should look after my 996. And what I'll do is I'll take it to my mate Jez, Wise Wagons on Instagram, go and look him up the road, and he's going to apply some Lanagard to the bottom of it, which is kind of a very well-known film for under the car, and it protects it for a few years. So I took it.
It sounds like it comes from sheep. Is it like from lanolin? Is that what it's made from?
I have no idea. I've never really looked into it in that much detail.
Okay,
maybe I'll.
Any listeners out there, if you know, please let us know. Is this actually sheep sweat that Ajmal is trying to pump into the bottom of his car? But carry on.
Well, anyway, so I thought I'd take it up there for some sheep sweat, and so I dropped it off, came home, and and just as a side note, he loaned me a car to get myself home, and I think it's a 2001 VW Passat. Do you guys get those over in Australia?
Yes. Yeah.
And it's the V6 4Motion, the 4-wheel drive.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, you're living large, old school.
Yep. But he's cut the back off it and turned it into a pickup.
Right. Okay. Look, firstly, there's very few of these cars left in Australia because cost of repair versus value of vehicle equation has imbalanced significantly. Yep.
Oh no, this one was originally like a running, driving, comfortable. I think the previous guy who owned it drove up Scotland, which is like a 400 miles or whatever, and it's absolutely fine. But just chopped the back off it and turned it into a pickup.
Great idea. Yeah.
And so anyway, I dropped it off, came home, and he rang me, and he spoke really slowly when he called me back because he knows how much I love that car. He said, I've got some bad news. And I went, when you say bad, do you mean bad or do you mean bad? And he went, well, he said, before he took all the plastic covers off from the underneath, all the under trays.
Great.
One of the jacking points was in the body. So someone's jacked it up on that jacking point and it's gone into the body.
Hang on,
wait. Rusted out so badly.
We all know a jack that could have jacked it up.
I don't think it was him.
Yeah, fair.
Not
going to point a finger.
When I had the tires done. Yeah, I think it was when I had the tires done.
Sure.
So that's the worst bit where the jacking point's gone in. It's gone into the sill a little bit.
You mean it's the bit you can see that's bad?
Yes. But the other bit is all the other jacking points all need welding. They've just not broken off yet.
Is there anything to weld them to, or is it just this brown flaky stuff?
Well, bizarrely, when you look into the second layer of the inner sill and stuff like that,
sure.
It's pristine.
What?
It's literally, you could probably, it's pristine. It's still got the paint, everything on it. It's immaculate. But what's happened is this car was kept by the sea. The previous owner lived by the sea.
Sure.
And the surface rust all over the underneath of it is horrific. So, and so obviously when Jez phoned me and told me that, and in my head I was like, fuck. But I kept a calm exterior. And for a couple of days, I properly thought, it's dead. I'm just going to flog it as a broken car. Someone already said, "Oh, I'll give you $7,000 for it." But this morning, just just before we started recording, I called him and said, fix it.
Wowza. You know, you're going to have to put a lot on red when you go to Vegas.
Yes, it's going to be, everything's going to be on red. So it's going to cost the best part of $3,000. And
I still
that
think
includes,
you're still ahead. Let's face it. Across your ownership of this car, you've been incredibly stringent on your expenses to do what's needed on it, right?
Yeah. So, servicing mechanically, it's all there. Everything's great. Apart from, obviously, when all the undertrays and everything were off, see other stuff. So the rear shocks are leaking like you wouldn't believe.
No,
which they weren't 3 months ago because Jack was doing some work to it and I had a look at them and I thought, they look all right. Now, oil everywhere. So they need changing. There's an O-ring, I think, on one of the AC pipes has gone because a joint is leaking because you can see the green stuff coming out.
Sure.
And the front lower arms, which I kind of knew needed doing, but you can see. So, and I'm going to go.
Sorry, have the brake lines been replaced in that car yet?
Not the brake lines. Disc pads and all of that have been done.
Yeah, but the lines are notorious on 996s for rusting from the inside out, right?
Yeah, so they've got, on the outside, some parts of them got tiny amount with the paint starting to flake off, but they've got like a greasy covering on it, which it's always had. So it's probably slowed it down. Obviously, you can't stop that because they're steel lines.
From the inside, from the moisture absorption, in the fluid. So, yeah, look.
That's probably the next thing.
Look, while, you know what, I think you're going to have a few while you're in there's going on during this process. And I know you've said 3, but I think you're going to have to budget for 4.
Well, I've gone for 3 because the welding is 2. And I've gone for 3 to do the rest. 4, I haven't got 4.
You didn't have 3.
I haven't got 3. No, that's gonna be all of it's coming off my overdraft. It's nuts. but I couldn't because my initial thought was, do you know what? I've got the garage. I'm gonna put it in the garage.
Oh yeah.
And just make a decision. But then I know what would happen.
It'll be there for 5 years.
My children will be digging it out long after I'm dead, cursing me.
Yes, okay. Yeah.
Saying, why is this here? And so it's being fixed, but I'm also going to use. So we're going to get all the box sections injected with wax oil and everything else, and then I'm going to get the bottom coated before the lanyard guard with there's a thing called epoxy mastic 101.
Sure.
And there was some test done where I think they put it on a classic car like an MG door, which is notorious for rusting. They put it on the door and then they throw that one door with and one without. They throw them in the sea, and they leave them in there, and then they pull them back out. And
there's only the epoxy mastic left, no door, right?
Yeah, that's it. So, but I have used this stuff, and it's like a real hard wearing coat on top of it. And what I would do is I'd just go back to Jez every couple of years and say, can you check that it's not rusting away?
I don't think you'll do that. You're too scared to go back after this. Once you've done this right, you'll never see Jez again.
Oh,
because you're wounded. I can see by the look in your eye, right? It's actually Jez's fault that this car's got a problem right now.
It is. Why didn't he just?
Because he found it. He shouldn't. No, he should. Yeah, not tell you. That's.
Yeah, exactly. Why didn't he just cover it all up? No.
Until Flat Six Jack does another job. He lifts it up by the on the posts, 2-post lift, and it just collapses inside it. The whole thing falls off on one of those YouTube videos. There's Ajmal's 996 on his roof falling off the stand. Yeah.
I don't want to be going viral. But I think.
Well, not for that.
Yeah, not for that. No. But the thing that worries me is that when this work's done, I might need to get some paint done because it depends how far Jez cuts into the sill. So he's taken the little flat plastic off that's just in front of the wheel. like
Sure.
a splash guard thing,
Yep.
which is kind of contrary to the body. So he's taken that off, and the rust is behind there, so you couldn't see any of it come out.
Well, tell him to put it back
But
on, and the rust isn't there. You don't see it. If you can't see it, it's not there.
yeah, well, that was in my head before.
Yeah, of course it was. Yeah.
So he's literally taken everything off the underneath to have a look at it.
Oof.
And so I said to him, "Can you cut it so I don't have to paint?" And he said,
Man,
it's
you
close.
cracked me up. You cracked me up.
No, but he said it's close because he said that it looked like when I was looking at it, I thought there's like 5 centimeters.
Just tell him to use silver primer. You'll be fine. Silver primer. You'll never know.
So where the solid metal starts to where the cover would be is 5 centimeters, and I went, "Could you use that 5 centimeters to weld the new bit in?" And he went, "I'll try, but if it isn't," he said, "I'll have to go halfway up the sill."
Yes.
Like put it straight across because it's a neater join.
That's about to get painted matte black. Yeah, got it. Yeah, righto.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to roller it. Maybe I'll get a wrap.
Yes, and you'll never see the rust then. The rust will be under the wrap. You'll be fine.
Well, I'm so upset. Honestly, it's just I could have cried when I came home, and which you've seen on Instagram, which is why my wife, while she was out in London, bought me a Mission to Mars moonswatch.
Oh yeah, you got it on?
No, because I'm doing DIY at the moment, and if anybody who's followed my Instagram, they know that I always forget to take off my watches when I'm doing DIY.
Yep.
So it's because it's the Mission to Mars, which is the white and red one.
It's a little too.
She chose that one.
It's a little too. Honestly, if I look at all of them, you know, the swatches, all I can think of with Mission to Mars is Elon Musk.
Why?
Because that's his whole obsession with SpaceX. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Elon Musk is he's an interesting character.
Not that that's that's not the topic of this podcast. We'll come back to this.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what I think of, right?
So anyway, but her reasoning for getting me the Mission to Mars, which is the white and red one, is that she said, "But you've already got an Omega. I've got Seamaster." And she went, "You don't want a swatch that looks like an Omega. Why would you want that? You want something that looks a little bit out there." And I like her reasoning for it, so I'm going to keep it. So she put a bit of thought into it.
I really like the Tiffany blue coloured one. I don't know which one it is.
Let me have a look. There's a key on the back. Tiffany blue coloured is see this. I could see you wearing one of these. It's Mission to Uranus.
Yeah, I knew it would be. Yes. Yes.
I mean Uranus.
But and I reckon they made the best looking one that for Uranus just because so people could take the mickey out of it.
But it's just when she said she saw that, she thought, "Oh, that looks all right." And the guy said, "Oh, it's the Mission to Uranus." I'm loving that.
It's classic.
Oh, but yeah. So anyway, what's new with you? Tell me something good.
I'll tell you something that's equally as grim in my household right now.
Tell me.
The GD4 is up for sale.
What?
Yep.
Is this to finance the box turd?
It's not to finance the box turd. There is some bigger picture use for that capital to enable me to get to the big car I want to purchase in another 5 or 6 years that I think will give me a better return. So I'm trying to keep the perspective. I love the GT4. Don't get me wrong. It's a fantastic motor car. But right now, is it the best use of that capital? I don't think so. Okay. And it's also limiting some opportunities that have dropped in front of me because I don't have that money liquid right now. And as a result, and look, my wife said, "No, don't sell it. You love that car. Do not sell it." I said, "Yeah, I do love the car, but not as much as I love the other one, and I've got 2."
Whoa! You're gonna buy a GT3 then?
No, I'm talking about my 356. Like
No, I know.
if the two of them are there all the time, the 356 is where my eyes always go to, you know?
Yeah.
And I've got more emotional investment with the 356 than I do with the GT4. And you know what? If it does sell, I'll probably regret that I sold it in a pretty short time, the same way Andy has from Last Rasp, right? And be looking at GT4s in another month's time saying, oh, maybe I should just buy one again. But the reality is, you know, I've got to try and eye on the prize.
Right.
The GT4 is a stepping stone car. It's not my forever car.
Right. So for me, it's almost is it the other way around? I feel like my 996, I'm sentimentally attached to it, which is terrible. Which you never do, right?
Sure.
It's not a car that's worth a huge amount of money. Well, the only money
that doesn't have anything to do with the sentimentality of it, though, does it?
No, it doesn't. Yeah, but the thing is, being attached sentimentally to it makes you make illogical decisions about keeping it alive.
Poor decisions is the word you're looking for.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, it's and whereas my wife is very logical about some of these things, and she'll make the argument, well, even if you thought about it logically, you're doing the right thing by keeping it.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, what would you do? You'd want another 911. Where are you going to get another one from? Because the money you sell it for isn't enough, and you haven't got any other money. So you might as well just get it fixed.
It's interesting the perspective you bring up in this conversation on numerous occasions now when you say things like, when you're talking to her, she says you haven't got the money, whereas in our household it's we haven't got the money.
It's more to do with
the toy shop. If you're going to have toys, you've got to cover your toys.
Well, no, I mean when I bought the 912, and as you know, that was a bit of a drunken purchase from an auction site, and it was a lot of money. I had to get her to loan me a third of the money. She owns a third of that car.
But it's okay. Look, everyone's household finances work differently. I appreciate Ajmal, but it's different to the way it's looked at in my household. I guess would be the best way.
I know we have. So it's pots of money, right? So you have a joint pot of money that goes to the house, children, holidays, day-to-day kind of stuff. Then you have your own pot of money that you spend on stupid things, because that means that you never compromise the household to buy something stupid, right? So it's completely separate.
Sure. So
it's so if we were buying a family car, for example, it would be our money, right?
Yeah,
it would come from our pot. But because I'm buying something that's not really any use to anybody else in the household, especially with the 996, where my wife actively hates it, she will always think that, well, that's your car.
Got it. Yeah. That's not how it's looked at in our household. Our household is, if it makes you happy, the household's happy. And it's mutual.
Yeah, so I get yeah.
But like I said, everyone does definitely no judgment from me. Just the language used seems odd to me. That's all. Whenever you talk about it.
Oh no, it's when it's a frivolous purchase, then it comes out of my part of money,
which is everything to do with this podcast. Frivolous.
It's frivolous. Yeah, exactly. So, but although the repair cost isn't coming out of my part of the money, because there is no my part of money at the moment.
Because you're just too frivolous. That's why I said you put it on red when you go to Vegas. Now, I want to talk about the 356 got an invite to quite a prestigious car event yesterday.
Oh.
Of which I declined.
Is it SEMA?
No, not that prestigious. I'm talking about in Western Australia. But I had to decline because it's quite a significant birthday for my wife that day. So I decided to make a judgment call, and which some would say could be the right one following the discussion we just had. Right?
Yes, definitely the right one.
So I won't be attending that event, but I appreciated the invite nonetheless, and especially considering I think my car suits events that are in ribboned off areas, so people don't get too close to see how shit house it actually is.
My 912 is the same.
Yeah, it looks amazing from about 2 meters. My car does, right?
Yeah.
Or in photos.
Mine's from like 10.
Yeah, okay. And And last time we spoke, I was going to the Porsche Club of Western Australia's 40th anniversary
Oh yeah.
cocktail party. I was way overdressed. I was one of about 3 guys with a tie on and wasn't wearing sneakers. Women dress up amazingly, but men are slobs. We all are. We can't help
Oh
ourselves, right?
yeah, but you made the effort.
Oh,
So that should be.
you can take that to the bank. I made effort. Look, it
Yeah.
wasn't my finest hour, fashion wise. However, it was a lot further along the line than a lot of people. But there were some amazing cars on display at the Porsche Centre that were cleaned up within an inch, detailed within an inch of their life on display as landmark member vehicles.
Oh, interesting. What kind of stuff?
There's a 993 RS, Carrera RS there that in speed yellow, which I've got to be honest, I'm not a massive fan of speed yellow in cars for owner. I've never seen a speed yellow car and thought, oh yeah, I've got to have one of them. I don't mind the fact other people have them, right? But very rarely do I see a speed yellow that I think, oh, yeah, that's me. I'm all over that. But I'd have to say the 993 in speed yellow, I reckon the colour and the body shape probably work. That car could be peak speed yellow for me.
I don't know. I mean, I don't see speed yellow is one. I mean, because like a classic 911 in what is it, Bahama yellow?
Yeah, but that's almost orange, right? Bahama yellow is almost
exactly.
orange. It's not yellow
much
yellow.
more. Yeah,
There's a
but
really
yellow is
there's a nice yellow
is
in 356's. It might be Concord yellow or something like that. It's called. I can't remember the name of the yellow. Anyway, it's more like a washed out yellow, like almost a pastel yellow would be the. What's the name of that yellow? Okay, I can't remember right now, but speed yellow. I think 99. Like I've seen plenty of 996s turbos in speed yellow. When I say plenty, there must be 4 in Perth. But I actually think the colour suits a smaller.
It's the GT3, isn't it? The 996 GT3. I've seen a few of those in yellow.
Yeah, well, I've not seen a 993. Oh, sorry, 996 GT3 in yellow in real life before. I've seen photos, but I'm sure there's 3 or 4 turbos, 996 turbos here. But I actually think the colour suits the smaller car a lot better. Yeah, that was just stunning car, stunning left-hand drive. I think it was a Hong Kong delivered car originally.
Oh wow,
interesting country after being on holiday there. Like, there's heaps of right-hand drive cars and heaps of left-hand drive cars, and they're all mixing and matching out there, like modern.
And would they drive? Which side do they drive on?
Left-hand side of the road.
Ah, okay. So Hong Kong delivered should really be right-hand drive.
Yes, but I don't know when. I reckon it's one of those countries that changed.
You reckon?
I do. Yeah, I don't know when. Or it's open slather, bring in whatever you want, but you have to drive on that side of the road.
Yeah, it must be.
Something like that. You're Googling it at the moment, are
you? I am.
There was a stunning 992 GT3 RS, latest, greatest, with those anodized red wheels that just make everyone's pants tight in the front, right? It just looked amazing. And I was, I'm going, oh, yeah, I'm going to have one of these at some point. But having a coincidental catch-up coffee with a friend of mine from a few years back, he's actually pretty tight with the owner, and I reckon I'm half a chance of getting a go in this car.
What?
Well, it gets better.
That'd be pretty impressive.
My mate I caught up with, he's got a 991.2 GT3 RS, and this guy's got a 992 GT3 RS, and I think I'm going to try and wrangle a comparison here, I think.
Oh, that could be quite interesting. And the thing is, I've always thought about the RS. It's really, I know it's road legal, but it's a track car, right?
Yeah, keep going.
And I just think how much, unless you were going specifically for a drive on specific roads for a blast, how much fun can it be just on regular? But no one's going to drive it to the shops, right?
Look, I think it's yes, I would, but it's Porsche's equivalent of Lamborghini. It is all the wings, all the gear. Look at me, I'm out on the road type car, right? You can't slip under the radar in an RS car.
Yeah.
You know, you are loud
true.
and proud. You're out there, like sort of car that if you bought it in Viper green, good on you, mate. Well done. Whereas if you bought
yellow.
Where if you bought a Viper green McCann T, you just look like a bit of a knob. Okay, so you know what I mean? It's just that car that is off the Richter scale, right? And it looks like the sort of car you would have drawn as a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is, but the thing is, I'm thinking about it, probably same as you. I'm thinking about it as a normal person with not a lot of money who's probably never going to get to drive one or own one, and thinking in what circumstance, if I had the money, would I think, you know what, I'm going to buy a G3 RS? And I can't think of one.
Oh, every second. As soon as the opportunity presents itself, I'm in. And you know what? I'll probably never take it on the track.
Is that a commercial decision, or is that I want to own it and drive
because, firstly, after going to Rennsport, as I mentioned in the previous podcast, and seeing how shithouse it is on the track compared to a proper race car, for a third, even a quarter of the price, I could probably buy a cup car that will go around the track faster, right? It's a compromised road car, which means it's also a compromised track car. Looks amazing. I'm sure it's an incredible car on the track if you've got to drive the track and drive home. But you know what? When you're spending that sort of freight to go out and play on the track, are you not better off just buying a proper track / race car and using that and leaving it at the track or towing it there? Or I don't know. I don't know. Because, you know, modern roads aren't really that well suited to track-focused road cars, are they?
No, not at all.
Especially where you live.
Oh God, yeah. But when it first came out, the G3 RS, the 992, and I was thinking, is that the GT department just showing off? You know, we've gained 40 horsepower, whatever, from contouring and aerodynamically shaping the
11 seconds faster around 20 kilometers of the Nürburgring or whatever it is.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, and here's we've freighted, you know, specific doors. We haven't just taken them off a 992. We've moved the radiator. We've done this. Oh, it's got a center radiator, and it's got individual throttle bodies. You know, stuff like that. And you're like, yeah, but obviously power outputs. What is it less or is it the same as a GT3? I can't remember.
Oh, no, it's more, but it's not much. No, it's more, but it's not much.
But it's like 20 brake horsepower.
Yeah, 20 or 30 horsepower, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And
less weight. You got to carry that in the equation, right?
Yeah, less weight. It's going to rev higher. It's going to. It's all.
I don't think it does. I think it's still a 9,000 RPM motor.
Well, in theory, it should rev to that quicker. Because of, I don't know, lightning pistons or whatever they've done.
No, not as quick as the ST. The ST motor is I think the ST motor that's the GT3 RS motor. Oh, yeah, you're right. It's got like that smaller, lighter flywheel and that sort of stuff. Yeah, I think you're right.
Something like that. Yeah, it's got. Yeah. And so I thought, okay, you know, that's kind of in the ballpark of the brake horsepower that you want. But then I just thought, all this stuff, who's this for? It's, you know, who's going to look at that and go, whoa, I need that. I need those individual throttle bodies. Oh yeah, if actually you would.
Tomorrow.
It's just when I watch TV ads.
Yes.
And sometimes, you know, when they're giving you information about things like what is it? Oh, shampoos and things, and they go, oh, with 0 parabens. And I'm like, what the fuck's a paraben? Why are they telling me that something I didn't know was in shampoo isn't in shampoo and it's going to make me want to buy it? There's from Laboratoire Garnier's blah blah blah, and I don't know what you're talking about.
Hang on. Firstly, they don't sponsor this podcast, so let's just back it up a bit.
Oh yeah, that's true.
No, but
We're available if they want. If they want to.
Yeah, they could. Yeah. No, if they, for me, I don't care about that stuff. I don't even care if it's about the power number. I'm not remotely interested. I've driven cars with comparable motors. I've been in the fortunate position where I've driven GT3s with 500 horsepower, right? GT4 RSs, almost the same motor. Right? I've driven it a couple of times. The motor isn't fantastic on the road because all the fun's that it's right up in the rev range, right? Whereas a torquier motor that kicks in the torque right down at, 2,500 RPM, it's a hoot. But that aside, two reasons I want one of those cars. One, I love the fact it looks like a Hot Wheels car.
Yep. Does look like a Hot Wheels car.
Looks incredibly like a Hot Wheels car. The second one is the driving experience. Experience my GT4, which is not even remotely close to what the driving experience would be like in a GT3 RS. It's probably that times 10, okay? If that's what I'm getting, it's worth it. If I get the fizz, to quote Ajmal, going down the shops, isn't that reason enough?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, you're in Australia, so going down the shops takes 3 days, but it's which is nice. But here, it's through tiny roads with incredible potholes, and it's
a big
3 minutes away. And it's a big car. Yeah,
it is
narrow
a big
roads
car.
where I live.
Yeah.
And so you don't get that sensation here. It's most of the time you'd probably just be terrified of ripping a wheel off in a pothole.
Yeah, fair cop.
I do, and I get that. I guess it's just me. I'm still, searching for the ultimate old, narrow, comfortable car that I can exploit fully on the road.
Yeah, I can tell you now, after seeing all these cars up close historically, right? I reckon you're either a contender for a 2.7 RS, 911 2.7 RS, right? Or 959 Comfort.
The 959 Comfort, I think, yes. The 2.7 RS, I don't want to die. And especially in a ball. Well, what a way to go though in a ball of flames. But I think I probably just need a 996 Carrera 2. If that works.
I know yours works.
I love that car.
It's just a bit crusty at the moment, right? Crustier than it's crustier than you knew it to be.
Yes, it's a bit. The once I get the rust sorted out, then it means that I might have to then go onto the bodywork, the outer bodywork.
Right now, honestly, you have pushed a hole into the pinata. You're about to open. You know what? If you think you've just got your jacking points a problem, let's face it, you're delusional. Put it, as the French would put it, the car's probably fucked.
No, it's not. No, I refuse to believe that.
Okay. Doesn't change the fact that it probably is, right? But that aside, that's okay. I know someone that could actually weld that stuff up for you and fix it.
Who's that?
Our mate Jeff.
Fly him over. Let's go. He's not going to want to weld a rusty car together. People in Australia.
He's done that Alpha. Did you see that Alpha?
Oh, yeah. Was it rusty?
The thing was out in the paddock, for Christ's sake, for like 4 years.
Oh.
You should watch some of the early videos of that car.
I haven't seen the early one. I've only seen it since it's been yellow. I think I saw it. No, I saw it. I started watching it when he'd just finished prepping it for paint.
Ah, okay.
That's when I started watching it.
Well, speaking of Jeff, he is offered to come on and discuss his Rockster / by Boxster project.
Oh.
Yeah, so we'll try and tee him up for a future episode, in a near future episode.
I reckon he'll talk you out of it.
This is what he's going through.
Yeah, he'll go, I know I'm doing it, but I wouldn't wish it on anybody else.
Yeah. Mark, you don't need the views that bad.
But also, when I look at the stuff he's doing, obviously he's got kitted out
The guy's
garage.
a
He's got
genius,
every
right?
tool going.
Yeah.
He knows exactly what he's doing, and I just know if that was me, I would just make it worse.
And I'm a worse version than you. So
Yeah, you just go, okay, have I done that right? I don't know. And that's the thing that I like when I see some of these guys, and someone like Matt Armstrong who's doing Ferrari, Aston Martins, and whatnot.
that got
And
honestly, no
Matthew
one
Rosner.
bluffs their way through it better than Matt.
Oh God, yeah, but it's just it's the confidence. It's the confidence. Oh yeah, we'll take that off. We'll do this. We'll do that.
You need
You
need the swagger. It comes with a deep credit card balance.
Yeah, and also obviously he's making money on every video, but
Well,
still,
I hope so.
it's the confidence. Yeah, but it's the confidence. I change a gasket on something, and I'm like, oh, is that going to leak? I probably have anxiety for like the next 6 months of driving, thinking, is that leaking yet? Is that leaking now? So whereas it's the confidence of when he did the Lamborghini, and he went on Gumball, putting it together. First drive, he drove up like hundreds of miles in it. Admittedly, it did leak and overheat, but
It is a Lambo, though.
Yeah, but it was it's that confidence to be able to do that, and I don't have that. So that's what you'd need to do.
Nah, look,
the box turd.
Honestly, I'm okay with ballsing it up a few times because I don't plan on building something to drive on the road.
You don't want to drive to the track in it.
No. Like I said to you last time, if I'm going to do this, I want to build one of those Berg Spider type things. I want a single seater. I want to weld up the gap where the passenger seat would go. I want a dinky little windscreen that's only about 3 inches high.
That is kind of asking for trouble. So I watched a terrible show. I can't remember what it's called over here. It's where these couple of guys go and search through people's old sheds.
Sure.
And buy stuff up. And they bought this 3-wheeler car where it had a single wheel at the back, but it had a motorcycle engine, some kind of Yamaha engine in it. And it was from the 60s, I think.
What, like a Robin Reliant or something like that?
No. It's kind of the other way around. So the single wheel's at the back.
Okay.
And the engine's at the front.
What, an Assetto?
Was it an Assetto? I can't remember what it's called.
Did the door on the front?
Oh, no, not an Isetta. No, not a BMW. Isetta, no. It was a normal sporty shaped car from the front.
Yeah, okay.
2 doors on either side, you get in, steering on the right. But it was a Yamaha engine in it from a motorcycle.
Sure.
And so they got it going, and it's fiberglass body, and they sold it to like an 18-year-old kid.
Right.
And all I could think was, so this guy got in it and started her up and drove it down this farm lane where he lived. And like, he was a tall guy. He must have been like 6'2", 6'3", and he was sat fully with his head over the windscreen.
Yeah, okay.
It's a 3-wheel car. If that thing flips over, he is dead. And he's buying it for it.
Do you think I'm going to build this thing without a roll bar in it?
No. I know you would, but it just reminded me of that where this didn't have a roll bar.
Got it.
And it had this flimsy little screen.
Can we just talk about those types of cars for a second? 1 wheel at the back, 2 at the front, right?
Yeah.
When I was in the States, I saw a brand of car built over there in that configuration called a Vanderhall. They make some electric cars, but they also make it looked like a 4-cylinder Ecotec type motor or something like that in it. And this thing was small and light. Like, it would have gone like a rocket, this thing. And so I looked them up online when I saw the car, and it looked amazing, these motor cars. So if anyone from Vanderhall's listening, you probably are, let's face it, being, ranked number 900 on automotive podcasts in the USA. So
are we up to 900?
We might be up to 900. Could you reach out? Because I'd love to talk to you about Vanderbilt motor cars because they look fascinating. And now they've got these like rock crawler things, electric rock crawlers that they're making. They're just like, yeah, that looks whimsical. I'm going to build those and sell them. That's what the company looks like.
Well, didn't because obviously there's the Morgan, right? Morgan's probably the most famous one.
Yeah, and also those
Um,
funny looking things and the other funny looking cars in the States without a roof. What are slingshots?
oh
Polaris, is it
God,
Polaris slingshot? I can't remember what the brand is.
oh I don't know. We'll have to look that up. But with the Morgan, and what now makes me think about these three-wheel cars with a single wheel at the back, and especially the newer ones that are a little bit more powerful.
Did
They're
someone
probably a
flip
lot
one
safer.
recently?
It was Freddie Flintoff.
Was too. Yes, yes, yes. That was the
Yep.
downfall of Top Gear in
Top
the
Gear.
UK.
Yep. And that's what made me think when this kid was buying one, I was thinking, oh my God, what are you doing? To parents thinking, what are you doing? And yeah, it's because you're so exposed, right? And
Yep.
even to the point where when you think about, I saw a clip recently of Nigel Mansell getting into his, championship winning car.
And the side
And
of
he
the
still
car's
fits in
up
it.
to, midway up to his mid.
Yeah, he sat there and he goes, I've forgotten how exposed you are because your shoulders are out of the
He's
car.
right above. It looks like he's sitting on top of the car, not in the car.
Yeah, exactly. And you just think, even when you see Senna, you see videos of Senna
Mhm.
driving that McLaren, he sat so far out of the car.
Yeah, we can see his arm moving to change
He's doing
gears.
the gears.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah,
But
it's tragic. Let's talk Formula One for a second while we're on a roll.
yes.
Firstly, I think I'm going to go to the 2024 Australian Grand Prix.
What?
Well, there's a good chance there's going to be two Aussies driving, right?
Yeah, that's true. Honey Badger could be in a Red Bull by then.
Look, so could Alonso, from what I've heard this week.
No, they'd never disrupt. I mean, imagine that Alonso and Max in the same car.
Be pretty good, wouldn't it?
And from the outside, it would be amazing. But imagine if at every race you're on pole and second, and you know that no driver's going to give the other one way,
Yeah, I'll go into that
and you're
first
probably going to
quarter.
get. Yeah, so you'd never make it. You're on pole and second every time, but you'd never make it through the first quarter. So,
Yeah, right now
so
there's some sneaky calls getting made by Lewis Hamilton saying, "Hi, this is Alonso. I'd really like to talk to Christian if I can, please."
yeah, exactly. Well, I just think, that would have been. It's so often it was talked about that top drivers could end up, two of them, and it probably never. I don't think it ever ends really well.
Yeah, I look,
If you,
it wouldn't. But do you think? And look, it's hard to tell today. But do you think that Verstappen and Alonso? Do you think they're that close, or do you think Verstappen is that far superior?
in that car, Verstappen is probably far superior because it's built to his liking.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't think Alonso would be that far off if he was in equal machinery that suited his driving style.
Do you believe that Checo's getting the same car?
Um, I wasn't convinced that he was at the beginning of the season.
Interesting. Okay.
I wasn't because when you think about how close he was then and
Yes.
how so far off he is now, and it reminds me. This was Honda as well at the time. If you read tons about the late '80s with Prost and Senna in the same car, people were doing stats on, well, why can't Prost match Senna's top speed on the straights?
Sure.
Fair enough, you can say all those other things,
Mm-hmm.
but how is it that when
Is he
Prost
just not?
has,
Is he not? Is someone put an adjuster nut underneath the pedal so it couldn't go all the way down? You reckon?
well, there were all of these theories, and well, hang on, if he's in equal,
Conspiracies.
yeah, they are, and whereas now I don't Checo, his performance has dropped so far off, even with a clear run in qualifying, he's fifth or sixth. And you just think, if the car is that superior, how much of a difference can Verstappen be making? Whereas I guess we'd find out if you got
Alonso.
Ricardo in.
Look,
Or if you got Alonso in, you'd kind of know, but it would have to suit his driving style. They'd have to change it.
whoever it is that's coming in has to walk away from everyone else, even if they can't catch Verstappen, right? Because let's face it, Verstappen's winning the race by nearly a lap now, right?
Yeah.
So they've still got to be able to walk away from from third, whoever is going to come in.
Yes. Yeah, and Lewis Hamilton's in with a real shout of ending up second in the championship. And he doesn't care about being second, but it's worth money to his team.
Oh yeah, tons of money. But the reality is, love Ricardo, West Aussie kid, and likable, and probably between him and Gunther Steiner, Drive to Survive wouldn't have lasted as many seasons as it has if it wasn't for those two personalities, right?
Yep.
I don't know whether or not he's going to be good enough. And even, you know what? Does it even matter if he is? Because they've got Verstappen.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. He's got to be able to bring the best car on the grid home in second.
Does he? Or does he just have to smile a lot and be likable and be entertaining? And while Verstappen wins.
No, but from Red Bull's point of view, they want somebody who's not going to challenge Verstappen, but he's going to make sure they win the constructors as early as possible and come first and second in the championship.
There is a pretty, before Danny Rick left Red Bull, it wasn't that big a gap between Verstappen and Ricciardo.
No, it wasn't. They were very closely matched, which is why they kept crashing into each other, because Red Bull weren't the top team.
Yes.
But they always ended up on the track at the same place on the track. And I think Verstappen was starting to slightly get the upper hand. He was getting a bit more consistent. But they were, I don't think they've been anywhere near closely matched any drivers since then for Red Bull.
I'm not sure if I'd be interested to know what Verstappen would definitely have some say on who's going to sit in that seat, right?
Yeah, he probably will, or his dad will.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how much, whether or not they actually want anyone that's going to become close to threatening him. I reckon he's bored anyway. I reckon he's going to go and race Le Mans and stuff.
Yeah, he probably will. But I think with Ricciardo, it would probably be he would have to come in on that, because remember, he thought his career was probably over when he basically got fired by McLaren.
Yeah.
But he
not a bad exit golden handshake. It wasn't like 20 mil or something like that.
Oh god, yeah. Yeah, but I think if he came in as a Red Bull driver, I'm sure there'd be something there to say you can't rock the boat.
Yeah, maybe. Well, look, this is his last throw of the dice. If he does get the seat, right? This is his last contract. So he's 140. He's 146 years old or something, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, he's still so much better than a lot of the other drivers on the grid.
Well, he wasn't 10 minutes ago. Since he's been at AlphaTauri, he's been amazing.
Yeah, it was McLaren that he was
no good in. He was pretty good in Alpine, right? Well,
yeah, Alpine was pretty good. He was good at Red Bull, but at McLaren it was just awful. And AlphaTauri, he's just finished 7th, was it, at the Mexican Grand Prix?
Yeah, I think it was 7th.
And qualified 4th.
Yeah, realistically, probably if it wasn't for the red flag, he probably would have been 6th.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway.
So I think.
Should I go?
Where?
To the Australian Grand Prix next year.
Oh, of course you should. Yeah. Absolutely.
I haven't been since it's been in Melbourne. The Grand Prix.
Oh. How far is that? How long does it take to get there?
Oh, look, by plane, it's 3.5 hours.
So kind of
4 hours, maybe something like that.
4 hours. That's far. I could get to Africa from here in 4 hours.
And you know what? You end up in Africa, but I'm going to Melbourne, right?
It's like when I went to visit my brother, kind of lives sometimes in Tenerife, and I went to visit him.
Yeah.
And he calls it Spain. And I went, it's not really Spain, is it?
Tenerife, isn't that Africa? Really? Come on.
No, but I say to him, well, Africa's literally just over there.
Yeah, I can see it. It's right there. It's right there.
And you're like, that's not really Spain, though, is it? You don't feel like you're in Spain.
It's like saying you're in Polynesia and saying, yeah, I'm in France.
Yeah.
It's not really.
Exactly. Yeah. But it's but I think you should definitely go. How long has it been in Melbourne? It's a really long time, isn't it?
Yeah, I haven't been since Adelaide Grand Prix were on. Back in Mickey Schumacher's day.
Yeah, I was going to say it was like 20 years coming up to.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was ready. I've told you before, I was ready to board the plane to go the year COVID kicked in, and they cancelled the Grand Prix the night before.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so,
oh, God, yeah, it was. Yeah, everyone was there, weren't they? They cancelled it.
Now that I've had the Le Mans press accreditation, it's going to be a lot easier to get a F1 accreditation.
Oh, nice.
Through the FIA. So that could be lucrative.
Digs? They'll give you digs?
Don't know.
Oh, see, that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool.
So, I'll do some research on that and come back to you. I want to find out.
Have you ever been to a Grand Prix?
Yeah, I went to Adelaide. I've been to Adelaide twice.
See, I've never been to a Grand Prix.
Oh, you got to go.
I know Silverstone's like an hour away from me.
Oh, no.
Driving.
No, you can't go that far. You idiot.
Yeah, that is quite far.
Yeah.
So you're getting like a Saturday. Oh, wow. Could I get a weekend pass? If anyone could get me a weekend pass, that'd be amazing. Next year.
Well, look, I think really at Silverstone next year, you should be podcasting live.
That is true. Do the grid walk with Mine Brundle.
Yeah, it's the grid walk if you want, yeah. Do it.
Yes, I'm around.
Who is this clown in this stupid hat?
Yeah, that'll be amazing. That'll be amazing.
Tom Cruise, what do you think about this today? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It
is. I think it reminds me kind of that. Do you remember when Martin Brundle spoke to Mike Tyson on the grid?
No, I don't. I haven't seen that.
And he said, he asked him a question, and you're watching it through your fingers, going, Martin, what are you doing? And he said to him, about the Grand Prix, this, that, whatever. And I think it was a time when Mike Tyson was on some like quite strong drugs.
Yeah, painkillers.
I don't know if it was to control his aggression or something like that.
Ajmal, they're painkillers.
They're downers or something.
They're painkillers. Let's just
probably.
Because he might be listening.
And obviously, but he sounded like he was on something quite strong.
Sound like a retired boxer. Yeah.
Yeah. And Martin Brundle said to him, "What's it like to punch somebody?"
To punch somebody?
Yeah. What's it like to punch another person? And Mike Tyson said to him, "I don't want to talk about it." And all I could think was, "Don't ask him again."
Because he'll show you.
And I think I told you before, didn't I? There was an interview with Amir Khan, who's a welterweight, and he said he was in Vegas at some event, and he ended up in the same room as Mike Tyson. And he was there with a bunch of his friends, and Mike Tyson was sat there, and they're chatting away. And he went, I remember sitting next to him and feeling quite threatened. And he went, if he just lost it, he'd murder all of us with his bare hands. And there's nothing we'd be able to do about it.
Classic.
He's a lot more mellow.
Oh, look, whenever I think of Tyson, all I can think of is the Hangover movie.
The Phil Collins drum sequence.
Yeah, that's it. We
should get him on.
Mike?
Yeah, we know you're listening. Yeah.
Reach out, Ajmal. Drop him a line.
I'll get my people to fax his people.
Facts. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, okay. The I've got some bit of a downer news that the organisers in Dubai of the GP Historic event that's coming up in December, who was half starter on getting both of us there to meet face to face for the first time and
nice
promote and broadcast the event, have decided otherwise.
Fuckers.
Don't say that, because they did suggest that the budget might stretch for next year's event.
Okay, so edit that bit out then.
Yeah, I'll chop that bit out. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, look, organise the GP Historics. Ajmal didn't call you fuckers. All right. So
no.
we will
we
will continue to try and pave that path, because I believe, looking at what the vehicle entries are for this year, it's an event we want to go to.
Yep. And this year it would have been a bit difficult at home anyway, because the week before I would have come back from Vegas.
Yeah, explain that to your wife and your frivolous spending.
Yeah. And she would have gone, "Do you buy?" She said, she would have said, "You've never shown any interest in going somewhere like that. Why are you going there?"
It's for the podcast, love. It's for the podcast.
Yeah, it's for. And you know what she would have said? She would have said,
"What podcast?"
Podcast. Exactly. Exactly.
Oh man, you crack me up. The that's my list for today's show. Is there anything you've got that we haven't discussed yet, besides moping about your car?
Because I think I am just moping about my car, and I don't feel like it's the full gravity of what's happening has taken effect. So I'm going to go this afternoon. I'm going to go and see Jez. There's a storm here at the moment, so it's horrific weather.
Just stop. Listeners out there, for the Porsche weather forecast for the UK and Australia, tune in now. Keep going.
Yep. So it's horrific. I think the storm has a name, which means it's pretty big.
Yeah.
I think it's Storm Kieran, maybe.
Barry. Yeah,
so I've got to go up there and see Jez this afternoon. And obviously he'll hit home because he'll be chopping bits out of it. And the thing is, everything's crusty. Everything's crusty on the car, right? Because, the anti-roll bars and everything, he's going to have to wire wheel everything. And then we're going to paint it with that epoxy mastic 101. And then
the wire wheel just keeps cutting holes in your floor.
I know. I'm going to need to buy some parts. So I was thinking, if anyone's got any ideas, but because I need the front lower arms and I need 2 rear shocks, I was thinking Spider Performance, maybe.
What about Heritage Parts Centre? They're in the UK.
Which one?
Heritage Parts Centre.
Heritage Parts Centre is quite expensive, and I think Spider Performance is really well priced, and I've got good reviews.
Hang on, Heritage Parts Centre. If you're looking to do some promotion on Porsche Talk podcast, please don't hesitate to reach out. Go on.
Or Spider Performance.
Everything I've seen on Heritage Parts Centre looks reasonably priced to me. The items I've always looked at anyway.
Yeah, I think it's because the Spider Performance ones are so much cheaper, and I thought there's going to be a gotcha. Someone's going to go, the quality's not right or something like that, but no, they've had really good reviews. So I might just ring them up and say, can you send me those things? And then I need to get the air conditioning leak fixed, because I don't want that gas leaking into the atmosphere or whatever it's doing. And I think that's just an O-ring. I think it is just an O-ring, because it's leaking from a joint, and then get that regassed. And then it'll be, I guess it still needs the, timing chain guides, which aren't going to get done until I get a clutch done, maybe.
Oh, you're going to do that while you're in there?
Yeah. And I think the rear main seal started dripping again. That's mostly because it just gets used so infrequently. Because when I first bought it, it was dripping, and I thought, oh, that's annoying. Started using it every day, and it just stopped. Dried out. Brilliant. The leak dried out, gone, but because I'm infrequently using it again, the drips come back. But I'm not going to do anything about that yet. Not till obviously I need the clutch, and hopefully that won't be for sometime soon.
No, it'll be within 5 minutes of the rust getting fixed. The thing's going to end up on blocks because something else went wrong with it. You've started a domino effect.
Yeah, I know.
It goes with the age of the car.
It's. I mean, I've had the thing is, I haven't put the full horror of what's happening on Instagram. I just put that photo where it's up on the lift, and I've had such supportive messages.
I would actually suggest that this could be your most responded post that I've seen in a long time with engagement from people.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
there's a lot of comments.
Most of the time, I always get comments when I post anything about that 996, and the thing is, it's the amount of people who've direct messaged me and said, "Don't let it die." Because at first my thought was, "Oh my god, I'm just going to sell it," because someone offered me £7,000 for it straight off the bat.
Yeah,
and I just went out of curiosity. I went, "What are you going to do with it?" And he was like, "I'm going to take the engine and gearbox out. I need it for another car." I was like, "No, that's like a knife through my chest."
You know, these people that are telling you can't let it die.
Yep.
I believe there are other 996 owners that need yours to exist to make theirs look better.
Probably. Also, what did occur to me yesterday was that, do you remember when my 996 appeared on an article on the Design 911
yes,
website?
Yes.
So I told you that, yeah? That article was about rust.
I remember. That is actually the universe's karma coming into balance.
Yeah. I was like, why are you talking about rust with a picture of my car? It's like they knew. I reckon they planted something in there to make it rust.
No, in all fairness, I actually think lately your car's looked the best it has in a long time. You know, you got the exhaust tips fixed, the stance is looking okay because you've had those.
Oh, it sounds fantastic
adjusted.
At the moment.
Yeah, like the car looks as good as it's looked in a long time, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, it has. The one thing that I was going to have to get done is get the lights polished. Now it's winter and the clocks have changed, so it's dark at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, look, well, that's why I tried to start this podcast an hour early because I didn't realise that your clocks had changed, obviously, in the last week or so.
Oh yeah, I saw the messages and I thought, why is he messaging me so early? But I would have to get the lights polished because they're just so sort of affected by the sun. They just completely yellow and they refract the light in a terrible way. So I'm going to have to take those out.
Don't drive it at night. You'll be fine.
I'm going to have to drive it at night. There's no other time to drive it.
The boys at Mighty Car Mods have got a couple of really good videos on how to fix that.
Yeah, I've got a little kit with all the.
I get that kit. They do things like you trying out avocado, trying out urine, trying out all these different things that are supposed to defog.
I don't know if I want to piss on my car. Why would I want to piss on my car? Do you mean piss on it directly or put it into a bowl?
Wait. By saying you won't do it, that's suggesting it's not worth pissing on.
No. It's like giving your car a golden shot. That's gross. No. Can you delete that bit out? Can you edit that bit out?
That's not getting edited out. No way. In fact, I've just found our soundbite.
Because I can't bring myself to piss on my car. I mean, could you like the jellyfish bite, if you get one, they say, if you're caught somewhere, you should piss on the bite.
That's like one of those box jellyfish from up in far north Queensland or something, or north of Broome in Western Australia. There's like 5 places in the world this can happen.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, if you did,
but look,
would you be able to piss on another human being in a non-sexual way?
Firstly, I don't associate it as being sexual, but that aside, right? I really feel like this podcast is going downhill real fast towards the end here. Okay, so I might be trying to move on to the next subject. Speaking of which, I've had very piss poor engagement, like that pun there.
Yeah, I did.
On YouTube by broadcasting these podcasts on YouTube, the last couple, but I will persist. So for all your 11 people that have watched it on YouTube, thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll keep publishing this on YouTube. Ajmal, have you decided what supercar you're going to hire when you go to Las Vegas yet?
I don't know. Do I want to hire a supercar?
Yeah,
What would it be?
Look, there's about 6 supercar hire places I saw when we were there about a month ago. And I thought, oh, yeah, I could see myself in that orange, fully clapped out Gallardo whose convertible roof no longer works. You know?
Yeah, because they're in terrible. I mean, the thing is, I see YouTubers buy these cars that used to be
Yeah, they're
hire
flogged,
cars
aren't they?
in Vegas. Yeah, they're flogged. Like Hoovies, he bought a 996 Turbo.
Oh, did he?
And yeah, and it was resprayed in like a glittery black. And then but yeah, they're always clapped out. And I've heard other people say that you can go to the US and just hire somebody's car and
Yeah,
they don't cost a huge amount
on Turo.
Yes.
Let's ask Jeff about it because I know he hired several cars when he was over there. When he
Ah,
comes on
yeah,
next.
no, they're people's cars, so it's not like
Imagine renting it out to some stranger. You'd have to be on drugs.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you that desperate for a repayment? You shouldn't have bought the thing.
I know, and you just think that the car's just getting flogged and killed, and you've got no comeback if someone just wrecks it. Oh, I forgot to tell you.
Yep.
Did I tell you I bought some hubcaps?
Yes. So did you polish them? How'd they turn out?
I haven't polished them.
Oh.
It's just because I can't get to the garage yet. The garage is not usable yet.
Is the roof? You said the roof was on, didn't you?
The roof is on, but
the cladding on around the outside.
Yeah, it's all of that's done. The only thing missing is power.
So no lights,
doors. Yeah, and no doors.
What are you going to do about the floor?
I was going to epoxy it.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yep. So obviously I need the doors on for that because it's bucketing down rain every day all the time.
Yeah. Well, it's right now. It is 9:45 at night. I think it's still over 26 degrees, 27 degrees here.
Wow.
Yeah, we've got a couple of hot days. I think tomorrow's going to be like 38, 39 degrees or something. It's going to be a stinker.
Wow. Well, it is now 1:45 in the afternoon, and it is 9 degrees with 100% chance of rain, which
105% chance of rain.
Yeah, exactly. And it is heavily raining, and obviously there's a storm.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
But we've got
on that note,
our weather warning is high UV for tomorrow.
Surely that's all day, every day, 24/7.
Walk out. Look, with our haircuts, you and I, you go outside without a hat on, top of your head just bursts into flames.
I know. And then on the flip side, I go outside, my ears getting cold. I went out this morning.
No, it is that time of the year though. But anyway, enough of the Porsche Weather channel. Thank you very much for your time today. Look, commiserations about the car, but let's face it, no one's surprised it was necessary with the condition of the car, combined with the fact of the car's age and the fact that you're an extreme tight ass who's always been reluctant to invest anything in it outside of necessity.
Yeah. I don't know if that wouldn't have made any difference though, because it was the rust, under the.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have looked. You would not have looked. No. You weren't going looking for problems.
Yeah, but I did. That's the problem now. See, this is why I didn't look. And now look what's happened. Yeah. Like, picked at it and it's devastating.
You're the African ostrich of Porsche owners, just head in the sand.
Man, I know. But now look, I'm paying the price. It's horrific.
£4,000 you're in for.
The amount of people who've messaged me directly and gone, started just giving Paige or GoFundMe or a Patreon account, and I'm like, oh no.
Either that or we need to get a Patreon going for the podcast to pay for the 996 because we just need it for the content.
I know. I need to. I'm going to go and see today, and assuming I can get time off from a gap in my meetings, so I can go and take a proper photo.
Right now, you need to keep working to pay for this car.
I know, man. It's not not enough money. I'm gonna have to go and sell a kidney or something.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what? Your other posts wouldn't help its sale value.
Oh yeah, I'd have to go and clean up my
Your account. Yeah.
social account, and then go one careful
Right.
owner
Yeah.
kidney.
Low case. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I took it out when I was 16 and put it in the fridge. It's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep. I know what I've got.
I know what I've got. All right then, mate. Fantastic to catch up. Thanks everyone for listening. Now, if you would like to, please follow the podcast on your whichever platform you're listening to it. And Ajmal and I are both on social media. Ajmal is at Flat Cap Driver. I'm at Marc and Cars. That's MARC and Cars. And I will also post on YouTube. So please subscribe and follow that on my channel. Links below. Thanks everyone for listening. Ajmal, as always, great to catch up.
Thank you.